Hello, Wilmington. Let's have a real conversation about working together to implement strategies and measures to help the communities, families, and children in the Wilmington zip codes. These neighborhoods lag behind the rest of the state in income, wealth, education, employment, safety, and health. Too often, these communities are plagued with violence and hopelessness. Wilmington will never be able to police, prosecute, or incarcerate its way to becoming a safer city. Accordingly, and consistent with the recommendations of the CDC Community Advisory Council's final report and recommendations, now known as the Wilmington Community Advisory Council, the following three factors must be considered when addressing the root causes of youth-related gun violence. First, there has to be a paradigm shift from seeing violence as just a criminal justice issue to a public health issue, which demands that we stop treating the symptoms and address the root causes of these epidemics. According to the American Public Health Association, guns kill almost 30,000 people and cause 60,000 injuries each year. Although the issue of gun violence is complex and deeply rooted in our society, we must take a public health approach to ensuring our families and communities are safe. The next factor to consider are adverse childhood experiences, also known as ACE. It has been clearly established that there is a correlation between the degree to which adversity, trauma, and stress are present in a child's life and negative outcomes later in life. Children with a higher number of adverse experiences have a greater risk of poor health and negative outcomes. The third factor is post-traumatic stress syndromes, compounding effects on children and families living in communities where violence is simply a part of everyday life. PTSD is commonly associated with soldiers returning home from war, but experts now see the condition in children and families that reside in communities with high rates of gun violence. However, unlike our returning soldiers, the children and families have no place to escape from the violence in the communities that they live in. Young people who get shot go to the hospital, get treatment, and are simply put back into the same situation. So for those shot within their own communities, there's no post in traumatic stress. It's a continuing and compounding traumatic stress disorder, and that's unique. What's not unique is the fact that the most trauma-ridden neighborhoods are impoverished communities of color, where inequity fuels hopelessness. And that hopelessness drives vulnerable youth deeper into violence, both as victims and as perpetrators. To date, the Wilmington Community Advisory Council has worked with our partners in developing pilots, providing training and technical assistance. These efforts serve as a blueprint for governments and communities throughout Delaware to initiate programs, address gaps in services, and reallocate resources to help prevent violence and promote youth development. To learn more about the Wilmington Community Advisory Council, join me at one of our Community Advisory Council meetings. I'm Hanifa Shabazz, your president of Wilmington City Council. Have a great week, Wilmington.